My next guest tonight, joining me here on Punky's MixTape, coming all the way from New York. I'd like everybody to welcome to the show, Miss Cherry Delight. How we doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing, Punky?
I'm doing really good. I did everything I could to keep the bank from repossessing my set for one more week. I knew you were coming on the show this week, and I wanted to keep my Halloween set just for you.
Nice. It looks good.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Keep it like that all the time?
This is actually pretty much just stuff that we have all throughout our house normally. We just condensed it to this small frame right here.
My house is just like that.
I love that. I love just being surrounded by different little oddities and books and oh shit. Tell me about your friend.
Oh, well, he's this is the monster. In fact, I have a song about him that I just came out with.
That you just released,
yeah.
Right over the Halloween weekend, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, on the 30th, it released at midnight, and it's pretty exciting.
So for my viewers that might not be familiar with you, tell us a little bit about yourself and your music.
I'm Miss Cherry Delight. This part's always so fucking hard because you can always like pimp out someone else. Then it comes to yourself, you're like, me,
Yeah, the self-promotion part, like I'm fucking horrible at that. I'm like, oh, I have a show, but tell me about you. I'm gonna put all that pressure right on you.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm a rock singer, and I would probably, something you can expect from my shows is a full spectacle. Highly sexual, very erotic, camp, gore. I have a song that I sing while I'm using the vibrator on myself on stage, and sometimes I don't finish the song, which has happened a few times. It's happened a few times. And what else? By the end of the show, venue depending, usually I'm like butt ass naked and they pour like blood on my body. I think that the whole kind of thing behind Miss Cherry Delight is that she's a closet cannibal. She does the bit on stage, but not everyone knows that it's not an act. If you watch the video for music video for Cherry Blood, you'll kind of get a backstory idea. A lot of the concept is inspired by, let's see, I don't know if you know Johnny the Homicidal Maniac.
Oh, I'm very familiar with Yavin Vasquez.
Yeah, Joan Vasquez, and also a lot of Jeffrey Dahmer influence as well. Mix in some Elvira, a good chunk of healthy, two scoops of Elvira.
2 scoops of Elvira. I like that.
Well, I'll tell you right now, I saw so much foreshadowing to my journey in life. I'm sure that you remember when you were little, you must have seen the Coors Light campaign with Elvira.
Oh, yes.
Yep. I'm sure that you never forgot it.
Never. Yeah. She is truly just a specimen of a woman, even to this day, just stunning, radiant woman. And she is leaned me towards an affinity of the spooky gothy side for life. Oh, there she is right there.
Where's
the Oh, that is beautiful. So what was that like meeting her, getting to meet somebody that influenced you so highly?
Well, I met Cassandra.
The person behind.
Yes, I met
Cassandra. Exactly, not the character.
No. But it was still fantastic. And, I was right in the front with my best friend Diane. We were just sitting in the front row, just ready, just like in low cut church, just ready, just like being her like good little children. But when I was 3, I saw a Elvira Coors Light cardboard cutout in a bodega, and I dropped to my knees. And I was
began
just
to worship her.
I was just like, teach me everything.
I want
And
to be your student.
yeah. I mean, like, I would trick my mom into going to that bodega, like asking like for candy or for like a juicy juice or something. And I'd run in the store once we got there. I'd just be like, trying to just absorb her energy. And then not until a few years later, I was sleeping over my cousin's house, and then late at night, I heard the TV was on, and I went down to the basement, and it was the very, very end of Mistress of the Dark, where she does the Las Vegas show. And I was like, and she sings and dances, and then she did the tassel twirl, and I was like,
just mind blown right from there.
I'd never seen that before. And thank God, because I was 6. But, but that was like, wow, I hope I can do that someday. And now I can do that too, obviously.
Me too.
Well, you can too, Guys can do it too. Your mind is blown since I just told you that.
Oh, I've seen many, many amazing men burlesque dancers as well. And they know what's up. They know what's up. They can strut it just as well as the ladies.
Uh-huh.
Oh. So that must have been just they're mind blown. The tassels, the singing, the dancing, the look, just the entire universe created around her, and it just like carved out a path in front of you.
Yeah, and there was more things too. I think that one of my other things was just my fascination with theatrical blood was something that started very early with me. And I think that the first thing was from the famous painting of Saturn Devours His Son.
Saturn devours his son, and just that bite,
Goya.
that brutal bite.
It's by Goya. My mom worked. My mom was a graphic designer, and she just had me with her when she was going to do a logo for some wine company. And the place was set up to look like you were inside of a wine cellar. It was all very dark, very dimly lit, just looked like casks of wine everywhere. And while they talked business, I sat in the office. The office was also still very dimly lit, but there was one light on in the office, and right under it was that painting. And I locked eyes with, the bloody monster devouring the body. And it felt like I just was going into like infinity forever. Like I was in kindergarten. I was just like the painting was taking my soul. He was like, join us. It tastes good.
One of us.
And I was
one of us.
And I was like, yes, master. I believe you, and that was, I think, the beginning of it. But the thing that really took it over the top, and side note, I really need that painting in my house. Because I have, but if I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get a nice reproduction, like on a canvas or something.
Yeah, get like you said, a nice like reprint of it, something to really just show the scope and scale of it with the detail. And like prints are nice, but like on a canvas, you can really get the brushstroke textures just a little finer.
The real thing is supposed to be like life size.
That's what I heard. And it's just like it's something like 6 feet tall, but like it's just massive. So that would be fucking killer to see.
One of the biggest gateways, I would say, into my fascination with horror stuff, and I think that a lot of other people can agree, is this bad boy.
Scary stories, yes. Oh, I love scary stories.
This is the original box set that I got at the Scholastic Book Fair at my elementary school. All 3 copies.
That's awesome.
Notes.
Did you get a chance to see the movie? I haven't seen it yet.
Loved it. Saw it the day it came out.
See, I'm like so behind on a lot of things like that. I don't, I'm still like rewatching reruns from 20 years ago things, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll get to it. But do I have like Miss Cherry Delight's like seal of approval for it? You loved it?
Absolutely. Guillermo cares.
I fucking love Guillermo del Toro so much.
The shit about these books so much that he went out of his way to do this.
That's awesome.
Have you seen his house?
Oh, yes. Oh,
Guillermo. I feel like Guillermo would like my new song, "The Monster," because we both have a real soft spot for Frankenstein's monster.
Funny story about that. I grew like this negative aversion to Frankenstein's monster as a kid. Like I was in Revere, Mass, where I grew up, and one Halloween I was Frankenstein's monster. And we're in Revere, and actually I got a sweet scar on the side of my head for it. Kids threw rocks and eggs at me, and it split the side of my head open, and I was 4. I literally thought it was like the people revolting against Frankenstein's monster. For years, I wanted nothing to do with Mary Shelley. I was like, fuck Frankenstein's monster. I'm like, fuck fucking Victor Frankenstein. I'm like, nope. And because I was just so emotionally scarred from that Halloween of kids just pegging me with rocks, shaving cream.
Because you knew what it was like.
I would literally, I know what the monster's pain is. I felt it.
Yeah.
So whenever I think of Frankenstein's monster, those memories come back into my head, and this little 4-year-old Punky running back home with his head split open and bleeding. Halloween was a different time back in the day. It really was. Now,
interesting.
I gotta ask, how was your Halloween?
Halloween, well, it's different because for me, every day is Halloween. And people are like, oh, yeah. And I'm like, no, literally every day is Halloween for me. This is casual makeup that I'm wearing right now. Like, I don't do like a whole thing because usually I'm also a professional makeup artist and I'm also a performer. So I am always working on Halloween, except for this year. No one's working.
No one was working this year, unfortunately.
But usually I... am busy, so I've made my entire life Halloween. Every day is literally Halloween for me. All of my socks are Halloween socks. My entire house is, well, I'll show you my bedroom in a bit, but my entire house is a Halloween house. And my entire life is a Halloween life. In fact, I have a song called The 31st that talks about how I threw out my calendar because every day is the 31st. The problem with having a Halloween life is that the actual day itself somehow just becomes like every other day unless you do something about that. So whereas I spend the rest of the year being outwardly like, just Halloween as a philosophy. Yeah. Having that day be something where I do a lot of inward reflection and a lot of like witchcraft and magic stuff and taking advantage of that full moon in Taurus last night.
Yes.
It's also, it's Halloween and the summer solstice are the 2 times of the year that the veil between this world and the spirit world is the thinnest. So crazy shit can happen, which is one of the reasons why we all dress up as different things, so to disguise ourselves. But yeah, for me, Halloween is something that's like
deeply personal now at this point where,
yeah,
like you said, it's become 365 for you. It doesn't stop. It's it's exactly who you are. The horror is just running through your veins at this point, and everything about it. And I totally relate. Being a Mainer, with my deep obsession for horror and Stephen King and everything surrounding, I totally understand that. It doesn't shut off. And for me, Halloween's always been like, this is like my day. This is, it's enjoy it for everybody, but like it's always been like a very special thing for me because it's just always allowed me to express myself and be my truest self. Like some people, say that they're putting on a costume for Halloween. I think you're just revealing more of your truer self on
Yeah.
that day.
I just hate when people are like, "Oh, you look festive. Halloween's gonna be in a week, and you're already doing it." And I'm like,
have you just been living underneath a rock for like the last like 100 years? Do
no,
you not know that
people
we're
who don't
everywhere?
know me, who see me like in uh around Halloween, dressed the way I am, and they're like, "Look at you," and I'm like, "Oh God, stop!"
You're like, oh, this is just everyday attire. Like it's not anything out of the ordinary.
I'm like,
You got to see me on Christmas.
oh, on Christmas, I go way crazier Halloween just to revolt against Christmas because fuck Christmas.
Oh, that's awesome right there. What do you do that's like really fucking overdo it on Christmas?
I wear Halloween everything. Things that say Happy Halloween, the sweaters, big Halloween sweaters, scary stuff, blood. I give people Halloween cards. I just pretend I'll stand outside of the Rockefeller tree holding a pumpkin and just be like, ah!
Yes. That is keeping the Halloween spirit going all year round. I fucking love that.
Listen, we gotta tell Jesus what's what.
Yeah. Otherwise, zombie Jesus is just not going to know what to do when he comes back to eat our brains. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about some of your art.
I like making horror props for myself. I'm getting better at it.
I like this mermaid. This is awesome.
Thank you. It was cotton balls and Elmer's glue and acrylic paint.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
Now,
is it something that you'd be rocking out at the mermaid parade with?
No, this is something that is going to have a display case. For the mermaid parade, like I work with like 4 different costumers, and depending on what I need, I'll work with whatever idea we can come up with, what suits the year. But I'm very lucky that I always get into the newspaper with my costume, if not as one of the things, then like the main thing. Like
the main thing.
A few years ago, like it's funny because I was the Rock Lobster for the 40th anniversary of the song Rock Lobster, and they took my photo. They didn't bother to ask me what my name was or what I was, but the one picture, you can't fucking see it. The one picture to represent the entire parade was of me. And it says, "See to believe. Feeling crabby? So is this sexy shellfish lady. At Saturday's Mermaid Parade, sexy shellfish lady." Like, fuck you. Like, fucking, how about you ask? I could have said I was the Rock Lobster. I could have said I was Miss Cherry Delight. But no, just make it up. Just make it up. It doesn't even matter that I have
the sexy shellfish lady.
I had the logo of the B-52s on the back of my jacket. I tried to make it as obvious as possible. I looked like a rock star that was a lobster. And listen, some people have no imaginations.
No, and those are the people that take, obviously, photos for newspapers that don't know how to write captions underneath it.
Nope.
Here in Maine, we have this thing going about a Leviathan lobster god where people are just going to keep a lobster as large as it can possibly get so they can worship it and then just ride it. I think their plan is for them and a crab just to take over and take out all the other gods. So if the Leviathan lobster group were to find out that Miss Cherry Delight had a rock lobster costume, this could just send them like right over the top.
It has a thing where if I move my butt, the tail flaps.
You're gonna like give like a bunch of like internet geeks, like much like myself, it's like a massive heart attack with like shaking the lobster tail.
Good, then I've done my job.
Then you've done your job. Bye. End of the interview. See ya. So, obviously, you've been staying busy because you don't stop, and you're always doing something.
I have to stay busy, otherwise, I feel like I want to die.
If I don't have a fucking project, I feel like I'm losing my mind. If I'm just sitting there, I'm like, what the? I'm like, I feel like I should be doing something. Like, no, this is called downtime. You're supposed to relax. I'm like, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, quarantine has been extremely hard for me because I'm a very social person, and I'm supposed to be on stage right now. Like I should be touring. I should be doing my stuff. I should have an audience. You should be physically in front of me right now. And the fact that we can't do that, the fact that, we cannot touch each other, that's something that I've been having a really fucking hard time with. I think that people are really concerned about COVID stuff for physical health, but I don't think enough people are also thinking about mental health as well, of what it takes from artists and performers and people who rely on having people, in front of you. I'm also an art model, and the schools that I work for are closed, so I can't even do that. I have to do it over Zoom like this. But the main what I am is a rock singer. I'm a performer. I should be on stage, and I should be putting on shows. And the most rewarding thing about those shows is the people. I'm very proud to be able to say that my shows sell out, and they sell out fast, and that people love to come dressed up like it's like Rocky Horror, with like glitter and blood and cherry print things, and some people have been cosplaying me. That's another crazy thing that's been happening.
That's wild.
That's been pretty cool.
To have somebody cosplay you, nevertheless, like do like their own kind of cherry persona, but to cosplay you, that's got to be mind blowing.
That's been pretty cool. There have been a few drag ones and a few like regular cosplay ones, but one of the people that cosplayed me recently, which is so funny, is Marika Bresseliers from Lords of Acid. Just cosplayed me, and that was fucking dope. And then she did TikToks as me, and she copied my hand movements, and she like studied the way I moved, and then she really got me. So that was fucking hysterical, and I was not expecting that.
That just like those little moments right there when you are just putting yourself out there, then you just see those little moments when it comes back to you, you know, and then you just have somebody, especially somebody that you like deeply respect, that's also in the music community, that's I love Marika. Legendary. I fucking love Lords of Acid.
I fucking love Marika. She's my homie. We have a song coming out together that's gonna be the first song that I'll be releasing in January 2021.
Way to low-key just drop that on all of us. You got a brand new track coming out. Holy shit. So tell us how that came to be.
I've got stuff ready for you, Punky. You think I just got the monster and that's it? Oh no. I just filmed yesterday for a music video I'm releasing in February. I've got a bunch of shit.
In February, just in time for my birthday.
Oh, when's your birthday?
The 27th. I was almost a leap year baby in 85. I was pretty close.
Oh, cute.
Pisces.
I love Pisces. I have
It's the love-hate. It's a love-hate. Either you can handle all of our roller coaster emotions or you can't.
Well, I'm a Scorpio, Cancer rising, so we got a lot of water.
Got a lot of water.
getting wet. So The Monster just came out, and that's on Horror Society if you want to see the music video, which will be everywhere on my birthday on when this comes out.
That's right.
So today is my birthday.
Today is your birthday.
Oh shit.
Happy birthday.
You celebrating birthday in the future.
Which is also now, because we gotta love how interviews are timeless and time and dates don't exist.
I saw a bumper sticker in college that the future is today, and I said, you know what? He's right. So the future is today.
I like that.
It's my fucking birthday, which means that underneath this, I have a new tattoo.
Ooh, a new tattoo on your birthday suit.
Yes, it will be. By the time this airs, I will have a tattoo right here. That is of the cake, the bleeding cake from my Cherry Blood music video.
That's awesome. And speaking of which, I'm enjoying myself a fine glass.
Of Cherry Blood?
Yes, I saw the video and I'm pretty sure it's going to end poorly for me.
Yeah.
Big Elvira influences and things like that. What else helped formulate, this path to becoming Miss Cherry Delight?
My parents have been dressing me in fruit print since I was a baby. I just kind of, everyone has that moment where they understand like what sexy is. And I felt that way about Elvira, but I also felt that way about this animatron of Chiquita Banana that was in a grocery store called Stu Leonard's. You're from Maine, you don't know what this is, but if anyone is in the Connecticut area or the Long Island area, you know about a grocery store called Stu Leonard's, and it's like the Disneyland of grocery stores because there's no aisles, there's just one aisle where you pass through everything, and throughout the entire thing, there's animatrons that talk to you and stuff, and it's the fucking awesomest thing ever. And in the fruit aisle, there's a Chiquita Banana robot, huge, and she sings and she dances and she has the fruit and she is a fruit. And I just remember I would love to go and just look at this sexy banana and be like, when I grow up, I want to be some kind of sexy fruit thing. I think that was something that I stored away. And one of the probably biggest things that happened for me was my uncle plays bass in the Hartford Symphony. And when I was a kid, he did this incredible production of Sweeney Todd.
Oh.
Like the real way, not the shitty Tim Burton way, like the
Thank you for saying that. I thought it like, God, I get hung out to dry because I'm just not a fan. I was just like, no, I've seen it musically done in small productions, and I've enjoyed it way more on a smaller stage than the movie.
Yep. However, so I saw it at Goodspeed Opera House, which is this haunted little opera house that's on the water in Connecticut. It's absolutely beautiful. That building is fucking haunted. So my mom said, like, you could have one thing from the gift shop, and it was between like the actual album, like 2-disc album, or like an apron that said Mrs. Lovett's meat pies. So I took the apron. There it is.
Oh, that's awesome. And you still have it.
Yeah, it's in my kitchen, of course. Hold on, let me just turn the light on here so you can see it better.
Oh, look at that.
And the pin. So, yeah, I have a crazy house. I have everything. I have a lot of stuff. But anyway, I got that apron. Oh, and here's some bloody meat pies, by the way.
Oh, look at those. Oh, those are so cool.
Thank you. So I I picked the apron, and by the intermission, I had it basically, I was wearing the apron, walking up and down the aisle, just hyperventilating because I was just so happy because I'd never seen anything like this. Timothy Nolan played Sweeney in this production that I saw. Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah. He's like up there with like George Hearn. I think that in the there's a concert version where NPH is Toby and Timothy Nolan plays the judge. But he's an OG and he's terrifying. He was so scary. And there was so much blood in this production that it was getting all into the orchestra pit. On the sheet music in the pit, there was blood splashing into the orchestra pit. I used up so many red crayons after I saw that show. Like, I just would draw the whole thing. I drew like the whole way that like the chair unfolds and the body goes down into the oven, and I would draw it. I was obsessed with it when I was a kid, and no one wanted to play with me. You know, everyone thought I was a fucking weirdo. But she likes weird music that's about killing people. But that was probably the gateway, that and the Goya painting for theatrical blood stuff for me. And Scary Stories was my gateway into horror. Because what I say is, when a kid's interested in something scary, when they're little, you give them in a dark, dark room. When they ask for more, give them Goosebumps. And when they put Goosebumps down and say, cut the bullshit, give them this. And you say, you're one of us, kid.
You know, I think that could be if I saw anybody do that as a parent, like it would just, like my heart would melt, because that's like the logical, like the stepping stones, you know, because eventually you just get, and I remember I got to the point of like being in the school, going to the school library, and it's like, oh, Goosebumps and all that. I'm like, I need something more. And they're like, oh, you need something more? And I'm like, yeah, I just saw this Stephen King movie, The Stand. Mm-hmm. I want to read it. And they're like, are you sure? And I'm like, yes, I am. And said, here it is. Here's The Stand. And then start getting into it. I'm like, okay. And then it just builds from there, and Salem's Lot. And then here it is, my entire life later, continuing, you know, my absolute love of the macabre.
What's really nice sometimes is if you want to give a kid, you know, a book that's at that level too, you could also have them read along to the book on tape with an actor, because I like to do that myself as well. If there's someone like a voice that's reading it along with you and kind of helping you paint that picture, that's something that's really nice. And it's also another way to get a kid, like little kids like mine, like kind of engaged in the story. If they are overwhelmed, like this is boring, no, like listen to what they're actually saying.
And full cast readings, we're so fortunate now with, like, when we were kids, you know, like, obviously I love reading books, but like with the amount of driving I do in my everyday life, I have very little time to sit and read. So to be able to have Audible playing and be able to check out so many books that I just don't have time for, it's been like the best blessing in my life.
Yeah, I do love books on tape. And I love the books on tape for Scary Stories Tell in the Dark. With what's his name? I forget his name. Who he passed away. He was an awesome actor. He was the voice of Heat Miser.
Oh.
He does the books on tape for
Scary Stories. Tip of my tongue.
And he's terrifying with it. He's great. I love the way that he reads Mitai Doti Walker, and I love the way that he reads Harold.
I actually just made sure to take a note because I have a bunch of Audible credits. So I'm going to be sure to grab that so I can just listen to it. I'm always looking for just different things to start listening to in the car.
It will make you very happy.
That would make me, I like reading them and stuff, and we have them right on our shelf, but like there's just something about like somebody telling you a story, you know, and especially with like the right vibrato and just like the right character voice, and it pulls you right into the universe. I love being read to. Absolutely love it.
Me too.
There's something about it. It really is.
You're gonna like my room. My bed's kind of messy, but I've got this new buddy.
Oh, look at that. Oh, I love the light in the chest cavity.
Hold on, let me
Oh,
see.
that's gonna make the best shadows in the room.
Oh yeah. Let me see if I can use this lamp to get a better look at him. He's basically like,
Oh, I love him.
yeah, he's one of the most expensive things I own. But I have full-size skeletons, but he's like the real deal. He's like he may as well be on the cover, well, on the set of the Goonies or something.
Speaking of cool things, I'm great with segues. So you had said your shows are something else. They're truly a spectacle of rock and shock. And
Yeah,
I absolutely love that. You know, being like a massive Gwar fan, you know, and things like that. I love massive production value and things like that. So obviously your shows do very well. You know, you have this amazing fandom. What over your little your history so far, are there any moments that really stand out above the rest for like show memories?
Show memories of things that happened on or off stage.
Either way, things that just like really just this was it. That was just when you think about some of your favorite Cherry Delight moments, what stands out to you?
I think the first thing that I would have to say is Chuck Varga coming to see, buying a ticket to see my show, sitting in the front and rocking out, and then afterwards giving me a big hug and saying, "I'm so proud of you." You know, that meant everything to me.
That is phenomenal. Holy shit.
You said you've come a long way, and I'm so proud of you.
And especially from somebody like Chuck, who's just
Executioner. Well, it's funny because the first
excuse me.
Yeah, is I call him Pops. Chuck is my mentor, and what a fucking amazing mentor to have. He actually gave me, in confidence, the secret formula to making Gwar blood, the kind they use on stage. Made me swear to secrecy how to make it, so the blood you see on me tonight is the same blood they use when they're fighting on, not the kind they spray, but when they have the little blood packs and they punch each other and stuff. This is the same stuff.
Oh, so, that's awesome.
Never have to buy fake blood ever again, and thank God, because I was going to be living in a box on the street if I did.
It's too expensive, and then trying to like, I've never quite gotten the balance just right. I put too much food coloring in, and that's like the biggest problem, because I'm constantly just like, oh, too much red, oh, too much blue, oh, add a little bit more corn syrup, and it's either too dark or it's too orange is my problem.
Unfortunately, this kind of blood is not edible.
Oh.
So I can't put it in my mouth. If I do need to put it in my mouth, then I have to get a different kind. But for the kind that is for putting all over your body, that's the formula that I have.
So I've always worked with edible. With my film career, my art history and things of that nature has usually been zombies ripping people up, bites, big lacerations, big spraying, your absurdist over the top, style, which I love, but I've always worked in the edible side of things, where I was always just concerned about, I don't want to get anybody sick. And then usually when it's that situation, I'm like, whoever's going to be the bloodiest, it's going to be me. So that way, some people, they're, not comfortable with it, and, like, oh, I'm willing to act, but I don't really want to get covered in blood from head to toe. I'm like,
get out of here, you say.
I wouldn't ask anybody to do anything, but I wouldn't do. And so I'm always the first person to volunteer, so, which is always a ton of fun, in my opinion,
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I always love having like blood in my mouth, obviously, but this formula that Chuck gave me is not edible. However, I can work with other formulas out there that are. But it's interesting that the the stage blood formula for what it takes to make it is not edible, which is interesting.
That is really interesting, but I'm sure it obviously whatever. You don't need to give us the formula because I don't need Guar chasing me down. That's the last thing I fucking need.
They'll get you.
I've been spared so many times. Odorous let me live on so many occasions, and I'm so fortunate. The last thing I need is Guar getting after me for getting their secret blood recipe out into the world.
I
So,
had a really beautiful last moment with Dave Brockie the last time that I saw him.
what was that?
I think about it all the time. It was the last show that I saw at this venue called Toad's Place. If anyone watching knows Toad's Place.
I know about Toad's Place.
It's a very intimate venue, and Guar would always come around there in December. And this was in December 2013. And he wasn't doing that great of a show. He was not his usual self, but he had the untlick out, and Bone Snapper was saying something stupid, and he was going down downstage right, letting people graze their hand over it. And I turned around to my fiance to like say something or ask him something. And then when I turned around, this is what I see. I see Odorous looking down at me with the untlick, looking into my eyes like that. And I was just like, you know, and he was waiting for me. He wasn't moving on. He was looking into my eyes. He was waiting for me to touch the sword. So I just looked, our eyes were locked, and I just like grazed my hand over the sword. And that was the last time we made eye contact. And I went to his funeral, the Viking funeral.
Same.
Yeah, you were there for that too?
Yep.
I'm good friends with Frank and Martina, who run MF Gallery, and they've had a lot of stuff there with Guar. But yeah, Guar is a tremendous part of my life. There was, I mean, Guar is one of the biggest factors to what led me to the stage in this way, because I mean, I was a musical theater kid, but I loved rock and metal, but I just didn't think that it would be an option for my life. And then when you kind of realize that there's no diversity anywhere in musical theater, and it's all lame, and it's all the same shows, and you don't want to just play, oh, I played this and this, blah, blah, blah. Like, fuck that. I want to play me in my own fucking story. Like, I don't want to be trapped in some little thing. I don't want someone telling me what to wear and what to do and how to direct me. Fuck that. No, you know, I don't want to be someone else's thing. And I learned that in acting school real fast, because I didn't want to play by someone else's rules. I just wanted to be my own. I wanted to be this. I just didn't know how to get there yet. And it took a lot of healing, and it took a lot of self-journey stuff to figure out how to get to the beginning of my true self. And it's been a fucking hell of a journey, and it's not over yet at all. It's just beginning. I'm just starting to truly emerge.
You're really just starting to like hit your stride now, you know, like some of the things that you've done already on your own, and then you've got this amazing collaboration coming out, you know, next year, and it's just obviously, it seems like it's just the beginning for you.
Thank you. Yeah, that's the song with Marika that I wrote for us. You're gonna laugh. It's do you know Eminem at all?
Yeah.
It's inspired by his song with Dr. Dre, Guilty Conscience. The concept is not the style.
Not the style. Now, I wasn't imagining Miss Cherry Delight to start spitting bars like that.
Could if I wanted to.
I wouldn't doubt that. I wouldn't doubt that.
I don't know if I could. But she's basically the dark forces in my head that force me to terminate my relationships by killing and eating my lovers. And basically, in the song, it starts off with me saying, you know, maybe this one's different, you know, maybe I don't have to do this, you know. And she's like that, of course you do. Do you know what you are? You're not even a human anymore. This is the life that you've made for yourself. Don't deny what you are. This is what you actually want. How could you say that? You love this. You love the taste of his blood. You love to eat these people. They're just gonna leave you anyway. Why would you? What are you waiting for? You have to kill him now. He's gonna leave you soon. You know, you're destined to be alone. You know, I made you. You know, this is what you are now. So shut the fuck up and kill him. You know. So that's what the song basically is, and it's me just kind of letting her win. You know.
That is awesome. I can definitely see the parallels between like having, you know, the guilty conscience, or in this case, like a little devil on the shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Which what I like that kind of guising you into your true monster self. This is who you are, and this is what you do. No, you can't start to like them. You have to eat them.
Yeah. So that song is going to be coming out in January. And I have well, in November, that's right. Now it's November, my God. So coming out really soon, I have a collaboration with a band, the FMs, who are incredible. I'm obsessed with them. They are kind of my they call me their sister band. We do a lot of shows together, and they're I would say they're really like how would I describe the FMs? Sexy, gothy, in your face, queer, really about saving the world without being dicks about it. And they're really awesome. And we have a song called Annihilation Denial about how people are literally killing the planet by ignoring it, by ignoring that we have work to do. So I sing on the track, and any part that I sing, I wrote. So I'm very excited. We filmed the video on my roof in May. Awesome. Which came out really good because I have a really nice view of New York City.
You get a killer cityscape just right at your disposal.
Yeah, but I'm not allowed to be up there.
Oh, fuck that. John Waters, that shit. Guerrilla filmmaking all day.
I know.
Yeah, film where you're not supposed to be. That's the John Waters way. That's the school that I know. I'm like, oh, I needed a permit to be here?
They kicked us out of the grocery store in the Cherry Blood music video when they saw we were filming, but that was in an actual grocery store.
That's awesome. I was actually kind of curious about that, especially after Humongous and myself last week ran into Spirit of Halloween. We're like, we're ever getting arrested, or this is going to go really well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we, in that video, it was all in my friend Agent Wednesday's apartment, and the outside of her apartment, and the grocery store around the corner from her. And then the part in the woods where I'm running around with a knife in the woods was in Babylon, Long Island at 1:30 in the morning on a hidden trail. And I had 2 gallons of blood poured on my body. And it was the last kind of warm night at the end of September 2018. And that's my record so far, 2 gallons of blood. That was edible blood. That was artisanal blood made for me. There was a thick formula underneath and then a thin formula on top. So it looks like it always stays glossy and wet.
Yep.
So we did that. And when we were done, there was this giant pool of blood in the middle of this running trail. So I'm like, whoever is going to be running here around like, oh God, like 5 in the morning is going to think that something fucked up happened right in this spot, or a deer gave birth or some shit.
Can you imagine if there was like a police file like the next day if somebody had called in to report this just massive
They'll be
pool
like,
of blood there?
Tastes like pancakes. I think that the main formula that was the main base of that formula was maple syrup. It was very, very sticky. But the thing about this blood is that it's not sticky.
That's the thing. The issue that I run in with the whole corn syrup is, especially when it dries. Oh
Yeah.
my God, forget about it in your hair and everything.
Yeah, that's the thing about this blood formula is that it's not sticky. So that's, even though I sacrifice not being able to eat it, the fact that it rolls off my clothes.
That's huge right there. And for being a guy and doing the Caro syrup thing, like honestly, like in the chest hair and everything, like
oh no, not the Caro syrup.
Yeah. Caro syrup in the chest eagle.
That pain.
And you're just like trying to scrub it off and you can't, you know?
Will never happen.
No. Oh God, I've ruined so many bathrooms in Boston from just making blood then trying to wash off after. I'm like, no, we're not getting our security deposit back.
Oh fuck.
Yeah. So feel free to give me some extra tips so I don't have to get Caro syrup all in the beard and in the chest hair anymore.
The tip is befriend Chuck Varga and have him give you the guar blood formula. That's my only tip. Or shave your chest. But don't.
I did that once to get a tattoo and it was the worst growing back. Oh God, I don't think I'll ever do that again. You know?
I don't even have eyebrows. It's all eyeshadow.
I'm gonna say, your makeup is absolutely on point, and me being the huge John Waters fan that I am, I just see divine.
Filth is my politics. Filth is my life. Take whatever you got.
Yes.
How's this for us? How's this for a center spread?
Ah.
Kill everyone now. Condone first-degree murder. Eat shit.
Wasn't she just the best?
I'm a thief and a shit kicker, and I want to be famous.
I can cry right now. I haven't heard someone do those lines so well since her.
Liquid eyeliner.
And as for me, like, obviously, like, Guar was like a motivating force into things, but like John Waters was like a big kick in the ass to go to like start, going into film school. And I'm like, oh, all right, this is like some of the things that I want to do, these absurdist things. And like John Water, Trauma, if it wasn't for them and Guar, and then learn like that DIY mentality, fuck it, go and film it. Oh, what do we got there? Yes. Oh, look at that.
Okay, so this is what I really want to do. I want to tour in terms of collaboration or touring. I don't know. I can't decide because when it comes to touring, I want to tour with Jenna Torturers.
Yeah.
Around the US, but I want to do an international tour with Lords of Acid.
I think you picked the right up, because Lords of Acid overseas, like you look at some of their shows, like people go fucking ape shit.
Oh yeah.
Like the notoriety for them like internationally like is huge. I think that would be a good ticket both ways.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's so funny that Marika says that people in Belgium don't know really what Lords of Acid is. And I'm like, but you're from Belgium. You and Praga are from Belgium. And she's like, yeah, it blew up in the US. But it's not something that really is a thing in Belgium. And we did a double interview together where I interviewed her, she interviewed me. And I asked her, why should I expatriate to Belgium? And she said, you shouldn't. You would hate it here. It's very conservative. And there's no people like us. There's no metal scene. There's no goth scene. There's, people look at me like I'm an alien. She said, what you want is you want to go to Berlin. That's where the freaks are. She said, go to Berlin. You'll enjoy it there. There's kink there. There's like all kinds of stuff you like.
That's good travel advice. I'm going to keep that in mind.
Yeah, when I
Belgium, go right to Berlin, because that's what I want. if I'm gonna go on a European adventure, I wanna have a little fun on the road. I don't want to be conservative.
Yeah, I would say so. I, I don't think there's anything about me that's conservative. I'm, yeah, I don't think that there's anything about me that, oh God, yeah. I really am a free foreigner.
Like thinking about it, like no, no, nope. Fairly.
Scanning,
And that's
scanning
the
on
way that we do
they're
things
like,
around
no,
here.
I like all kinds of weird shit.
You know,
And I
I
also,
just like I just like seeing people putting themselves out there, being their true selves, and then owning it. You know, from all walks of life. It's just a beautiful thing to see when people can just find that deeper connection to themselves and the personification of how they feel inside to be able to put that on the outside. And for so many people, it is a massive struggle. You know, to see anybody to find their footing in this world right now is a beautiful thing, and it should be championed. It really should, you know. And
we're the champions, my friend.
this you know, some of the things that we're facing here in the United States. Can get if we only sing just the one bar, then we won't get sued.
Right?
I don't think Brian May would have a problem with us doing it. If fucking sports arenas do it, then I think we could sing a little bit of Queen.
There's a video on TikTok of me that went like viral like a few months ago of me and my friend Jimmy singing Under Pressure at piano karaoke. And I hit the double high note. And that video has something like 35,000 views or something. That went crazy.
Awesome. And you get that double high to get that second octave on it.
Why? I don't know if I can do it now. Why? There.
There it is. Yes. Oh, ain't even singing Bowie to me now. I think we just became best friends.
Oh, I think so too.
Oh, my spooky friend from not too far away.
Yeah.
Well, this has been awesome. I've had so much fun. It's not often that, you know, especially being in the middle of the woods in Maine between like me and my amazing better half, there's like only a handful of people I can talk to, like John Waters and stuff about. Like, I unfortunately live in a very conservative area of Maine. It's not fun, but I like my legal weed. So, and I also like the woods. So
yeah, I grew up in the woods. I grew up in North Salem, in Westchester. Everyone thinks, oh, you're from Salem? Like, not that Salem, different Salem.
See, I was like in Somerville and Revere, in like right outside of Boston, you know, and that part growing up there. And then so moving up to Maine, I just like the drastic change in dichotomy. And then especially like, oh, we're moving to Maine and Stephen King's from Maine. And when I was a kid, I was like, yup, sold. Stephen King's here. I'm fine.
How far are you from his house?
Probably about an hour and 10 minutes.
Is it as cool as everyone says?
It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
it's the fence. It's the fence with the cast iron bats and things like that go around it that just sell it. Other than that, it looks like your traditional New England colonial home. You know, just but there's little nuances of gargoyles and bats throughout the yard. Like, it's not as like overtly spooky as you could think, but to be able to like go there and see the car in the driveway, I'm like, I know he's right there. I know he doesn't want to talk to me about the Dark Tower, but I know that we could.
Just mind link with him. Just use your shining.
I've been trying for years. I'm like, come on. Like, I've got a couple of adaptations of the Dark Tower that I wrote if you ever want to go on a collab for a story.
And he'll back away slowly.
And he's like, oh, here, read my manuscript, Stephen King. It's like, get this fucking kid out of here.
He'll be like, I gotta go.
Apparently, he fucking hates talking about his work, but if you want to talk fucking Red Sox with him, he'll talk baseball all fucking day. And I'm like, I don't want to talk baseball.
He loves the Ramones also.
Miss Cherry Delight, we've been all over the place tonight, and I absolutely love that with my guest. Any parting words before we say goodbye?
I would say please follow me on Instagram, YouTube, follow me on Spotify. You can download my music on iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, whatever you like. I'm just not on Bandcamp because I didn't see the point. So I figured if I'm on iTunes, do I need to necessarily be on Bandcamp? But please follow me. And I have a song coming out every month, I think up until February right now. I'll be doing all kinds of singles, but the next things to look forward to with me are my collaboration with the FMs, which is Annihilation Denial, which will be coming out in mid-November. In December, I have a really fucking scary song called My Altar that is inspired by the altar that Jeffrey Dahmer was in the middle of building, made out of bones.
It's Bone Altar. Brutal.
By that. It's probably one of the darkest, scariest, fucked up things I've ever written, and it's great.
Just in time for Christmas, too.
And just in time for Christmas.
It's almost like you did that on purpose. You know, I love it. I love it. And I'm definitely going to check out the FMs because like gothic pro LGBT like earth conscious fucking band, right up my alley.
That's
Daddy FMs.
And in fact, I helped them put together this thing. They have this new merch out that's so cool, working with Star Callahan. And it's these really cool images that are really artistic looking of condoms and like tampons, but they look like flowers and stuff. And if you look it up on their website, you can get really nice shirts and gym tanks and hoodies with it on it. And all of the profits for it go to the Black Trans Travel Fund.
Yes.
All the profits, not even some, just
but all the profits. That's huge too.
Yes.
That's huge.
If the Black Trans Travel Fund makes sure that people who are Black and trans using the program can, it's like helping them make sure they get from point A to point B safely at night. So it's like a prepaid for transportation that will guarantee their safety.
That is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
That is unbelievable.
So they don't have to worry about being killed.
Yeah.
You can just focus on enjoying life.
These are causes that are right connected to my heart. So to hear, a band going to do something like that, it's fucking breathtaking, you know?
The FMs are incredible, and their voices and their talent are unmatched.
You've completely sold me. I'm gonna go and check them out. That's pretty when I get up with this, I'm gonna throw on the FMs because I gotta hear this band now. It's checked like all my boxes off. Like, oh, perfect.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be checking out some of the first album, and we're also gonna be checking out your brand new video for the Monster.
Let's hang out every time I have a new thing.
Absolutely. Don't be a stranger. I tell that to everybody that comes on the show. I'm like, don't be a stranger. You want to come back and hang out? Please do. We love returning guests here on the show. So if you want to come next time you drop your video for December, right at Christmas time, we'd love to have you back.
Nice.
And even definitely send us that collab with the FMs too. Miss Cherry Delight, I want to thank you from all of us here at the Mixtape. This has been awesome getting to know you, learning more about you, your music, your art, and your amazing fucking story. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Punky.